Nicole.
Test, test, test.
Test, 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 test.
Okay, go ahead.
Test, test, test.
Good evening to the first Laveen Community Action Committee Town Hall meeting. We are so excited you joined us this evening. Our town hall meeting has an incredible agenda, and we have three purposes for this evening. We want you to learn about all the exciting opportunities our community has to offer. We want to engage you as a member of the Laveen Community Action Committee. We have a lot of projects in our community. We want you to volunteer and be a part of what it is we're doing. And most importantly, we want you to be able to contact all of our fantastic, wonderful partners. But before we begin, I want to introduce all of the Laveen Community Action Committee hosts for this evening. I'm one of the hosts for this evening. My name is Dr. Joe Roselle. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for the Laveen School District. I'm also the facilitator for the Laveen Community Action Committee.
Hi, I'm Fern Ward. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. I've lived in Laveen for almost 40 years, and I've certainly had the opportunity to watch our community grow. The constant in Laveen, though, is the heart of the people who live here. That has only grown. I currently serve on the Laveen Elementary School District Governing Board, and I'm a member of the Laveen Community Action Committee Current Resources Subcommittee. I hope you enjoy our town hall and learn something that will benefit you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shayla Cole. I am a member of the LCAC. I'm also serve as the chair for the GAP group. I am the ASU Black Alumni President, and I am also the founder of Shayla Rose Productions. Thank you all for tuning in.
So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said before, we have an incredible agenda for this evening. Our opening remarks will be delivered by our Senator Rios, Councilman Nowakowski, and then I'll be giving you a brief overview of the Laveen Community Action Committee, and then I'll introduce the superintendent of the Laveen School District, Dr. Jeff Sprout. And then our community partners will present on 4 different topics: community safety, food resources, educational resources, and community health. And last but not least, we have Supervisor Steve Gallardo will be giving the closing remarks. And before we go on any further, I want to let everyone know we have incredibly generous partners. They've donated a lot of swag bags and raffle items. So we're going to have 3 raffles during the course of the town hall meeting, so don't leave early. And in addition to that, we have a survey at the very end. And if you fill out the survey, you're going to be entered in for a drawing for several prizes. We're excited. So before we begin the evening, I want to thank Phoenix Fire, Phoenix PD, Urban Farming Education, Phoenix College, Grand Canyon University, the Faithful City, First Things First. I also want to thank District 7, Councilman Nowakowski, and Phoenix Block Watch for donating great swag prizes. Thank you so much.
Rebecca Rios has been representing Laveen and South Phoenix in one form or another since 2014. In the House until 2019, and now is our senator. She's a member of the Laveen Community Action Committee and serves on the Stopgap Subcommittee. Senator Rios, thank you for joining us.
Good evening. I'm State Senator Rebecca Rios, and it is my honor to welcome you to the Laveen Town Hall tonight. Thank you for your interest, and thank you for your participation. Tonight, you will be introduced to a wide array of community resources and services that are available to the residents and families of Laveen. Resources that run the gamut from educational webinars to community gardens, behavioral health services, faith-based services, and public safety resources like car seat safety and neighborhood block watch programs. These community resources and services are vital to ensuring the health and safety of Laveen, particularly during Arizona's current challenges with the COVID-19 pandemic. I have been honored to be a small part of the Laveen Community Action Committee. As your state senator, I would like to remind you that my office is always open to assist, whether it is helping to identify available state resources or helping you to navigate through what can be a frustrating experience with a state government agency. My office will do our best to help. Once again, thank you for joining us tonight.
Michael Nowakowski has served District 7 as our councilman since 2008. He grew up and went to school in the neighborhoods he now serves. I'd like to give him a personal shout out for being one of the first driving sources supporting Laveen Baseball League. He sponsored and supported us from day one. And on behalf of the probably 3,000 families who have been a part of our program, our low-cost nonprofit program, thank you, Councilman, for all you've done. We also depend on his help with the Laveen Community Action Committee, and we appreciate his enthusiasm and his commitment. He is not yet on our call, and as soon as he does get on, we will go ahead and squeeze him in. He's in. I apologize for that. So Councilman Nowakowski, thank you. Sorry, my mistake. He's not here. So we will just continue on with our program, and as soon as he gets in, we will fit him right on in. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ward. I really appreciate that. You might be asking yourself, what is the Laveen Community Action Committee? Well, about 4 months ago, my boss, Superintendent Jeff Sprout, came into my office and said, you know what, Dr. Rozelle, we really need to engage our community better. So he said, let's invite some of our community partners in and let's see if we can address the challenges that face the Laveen community as a community, not just as individuals. So what we did is we invited partners in the faith-based organizations, pre-K through college education institutions. Now this is a great part. It's not just Laveen Elementary School District. We invited our partners at Phoenix Union. We also invited our partners at Phoenix College, Community College, Grand Canyon University, and ASU. In addition to that, we invited nonprofits and elected officials, and everybody was enthusiastic about joining this Community Action Committee. And right from the beginning, we made it clear that we wanted to get to work. So at the very first meeting, we broke up into 3 subgroups: current resources, the TIES subgroup, and the GAP subcommittees. We identified projects and we got to work, which is really exciting. I don't want to steal Shayla Cole's thunder, so I'm not going to go on any further. You're going to learn more about what each of the 3 subcommittees have done, their projects and their members, as we go into the raffles. But for now, I want to give everybody a reminder of some upcoming events. We do have a food giveaway on December 19th from 10 to 1. The food giveaway is here at the Laveen Education Center in MC Cash. If you want to volunteer, we'd love to have you. Just shoot me an email. In addition to that, if you want to come down and get a food box, just make sure you're wearing a mask and you have your state ID. I also want to thank Urban Farming Education, St. Mary's Food Bank, our faith-based organization partners, and the Laveen Lions for being great partners. From the very beginning, they've helped us volunteer, pack the boxes, and get them out to our community, and it's been amazing. That's something else that I want to let you know about the Laveen Community Action Committee. It's not just one person doing it all. It's not just one organization. We are now addressing the needs of our community together, which is exciting. I also want to tell you about another upcoming event. Due to the increase in COVID cases, we are offering, the Laveen Community Action Committee, as the Laveen School District as a host, is offering free COVID-19 testing. We were just doing it on Wednesdays from 10 to 1 p.m. We've extended that to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday starting next week. There is one exception though. The testing will only be in operation when school is in session. So next week, we'll be testing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then we have 2 weeks off, and then we'll start again. I want to remind everybody that this is paid for by Maricopa County, so it is absolutely free. At this point in time, it is my great pleasure to introduce the superintendent of the Laveen School District, Dr. Jeff Sprout. Dr. Sprout, if you could please unmute your microphone and come up to the virtual podium, I would appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe, and thank you to Shayla and Fern for being our hosts tonight. I have some updates for you from the Laveen School District. It is truly an honor to be here tonight. First of all, I'd like to say thank you also on behalf of our governing board. And that leads me to my first updates. We did have an election. In case you didn't hear, November, there was an election that keeps going. But we are very excited about our governing board members that are coming on board or being reelected. So 2 of our governing board members that were incumbents, Michelle Anderson, our current president, and Susan Sanborn were reelected. And Dr. Torrance Watkins will be joining the board. We'll be swearing him in tomorrow night, and he will be officially on the board next month. And they will join our current clerk, Jill Berrigan, and of course, the wonderful Fern Ward, who has her hand in many things here in Laveen, and we appreciate the leadership of Fern and our entire governing board. For those of you who have been around Laveen for a long time, that means we lost someone from our governing board, and that would be the wonderful Isaac Cerna, who has served on the board since the 90s and has just been an incredible advocate for this school district and for the community, and specifically the MC Cash community. So we're going to honor Isaac tomorrow night, and I know he'll continue to find ways to serve. In fact, he's on the LCAC now, I believe. So next slide. Just a few other updates. We are now as a district in the virtual model due to the community metrics. We will at some point be moving back to our hybrid, some students on, some students off. And we're looking forward to better days ahead and to give parents the options of being able to either send their kids to school in person or from home. No matter what, though, we aim to provide the best online or in-person education possible to our students. Vista del Sur Accelerated Academy became our 4th school out of our 9 schools in the Laveen School District to be named as an A+ school by the Arizona Educational Foundation. That's the highest honor you can receive as a school, and we are very proud of the work that the Vista community has done to earn that awesome recognition. Also, our voters continue to support this district at the November 3rd election. Our maintenance and operations override passed 71% yes and 29% no. Strong evidence of the great relationship this district has with our community. I would like to just say thank you to our staff. We have over 800 employees. You can imagine that in your line of work, in our line of work, everything is different. And our staff has risen to the occasion and the challenges, no matter what their roles are, in order to ultimately make sure that we are educating children. I love our staff. They are the best. We are the largest employer in Laveen, and we've got the best employees. And so we are just very thankful for our staff. And our students and parents have been incredible and supportive during these days. And we love our kids. We are here to serve them and their parents. And I just want to say, let you all know how wonderful our community has been of students and parents during the pandemic. And so thank you to them. And then finally, thank you to you all that are out there in the community, whether you're an elected official, a volunteer, whatever you do, we greatly appreciate your support of this community. Our theme this year is setting the trajectory, and I just want to give you a brief reminder that at any given moment, we can make a difference in a person's life that sets the trajectory for the rest of their lives. And if you think about it, you have had people that have come alongside of you, maybe their family, friends, maybe even someone that you didn't know that gave you a piece of advice or guided you to do something that made a huge difference in your life. That is our mandate this year, is to set the trajectory in the lives of our students and each other as we work together. And then I just wanted to say this statement, you cannot have great schools without great community support. And we have that. And you definitely cannot have a great community without the support of great schools. I think from my science days, that's a symbiotic relationship. And so we thank you for your support. And we know that we want to add value to this community as well. When someone sees a Laveen school, they see a great school. They see a beautiful school, one that adds value to our community, but most importantly, that makes a difference in the lives of our children. So thank you.
Dr.
Have to
Sprout.
turn off and turn off, right?
Yes, sir. Dr. Sprout,
All
thank
right.
you so much for your leadership in the district, but what you might not know is Dr. Sprout is also a member of the Laveen Community Action Committee. He sits on the Ties Committee. So thanks for your involvement on that as well, Dr. Sprout. At this point,
Thank you.
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I was just saying thank you right back to you.
At this point in time, we're going to have our first category, community safety. We have 3 presenters this evening. We have the Phoenix Police Department, Officer Garcia will be presenting. We have the Phoenix Fire Department, Battalion Chief Tim Gamage, and Phoenix Block Watch, Shannon Richmond. The first presenter this evening will be Phoenix Police Department, Officer Garcia. If you could please unmute your video and unmute your audio, and the floor is all yours, sir.
Hello, everybody. I'm Officer Alex Garcia. Thank you for having me. We have a little bit of a full house on our end over here. I have my Sergeant, Steve Fernandez, my partner, Officer Howe, and we also have Commander Frudenthal here. First and foremost, I'm going to pass it to Sergeant Fernandez, who's going to give you guys a brief overview of what our squad does as community action officers.
Hi, I'm Steve Fernandez. I'm the Sergeant of the Community Action Officer. I just want to thank the Laveen Community Action Committee for inviting us for this meeting. We're honored to take part of this meeting. I'm just going to give a quick overview and responsibility of our squad as community action officers. So our primary job is we're liaison patrol officers. So unfortunately, patrol officers don't have the time to investigate after they take the initial call. So what we try to do is follow up on calls they have taken in the community. And one of our primary jobs is to find long-term solutions for areas that have ongoing problems. So we try to do our best to do that. We also take part in HOA meetings. We take part in block watch meeting, and which gives the community direct access to officers. So if they have any concerns or questions, they don't feel comfortable asking officers on scene, they can email us or call us, and they have our direct contact information, and which gives them the opportunity to ask any questions that maybe might not be crime related. It might just be concerns they have with the community. We also provide crime stats for block watches and HOAs, so it can keep the community informed of what's going on in their area. So we try to build a bridge and keep a close relationship with the community. And we also do events. During the pandemic, a lot of our meetings have been canceled. So some of the events we've been doing is like birthday parades. And it's one of the photos that you'll see on the top left where two of our officers did a birthday parade for a young boy, was the parents asked us to do because he's a huge fan of law enforcement. So we're able to do that. And it was a huge surprise little kid where he's dressed up in a little cop uniform. So that's what we like to bring joy and have a connection with the community. We work out of 2 precincts. We have a Maryville precinct, which is located at 6180 Western Candle Boulevard. And we also have the Maryville Stray Mountain precinct, which is 2111 South 99th Avenue. And that precinct is what patrols the Laveen area. I'll pass it over to Officer Garcia. He's going to be the community action officer for the Laveen area. He's going to provide resources available to you and your family, and just provide an overview of what our department's things that we do, the specialty that our department has. So thank you.
All right, everybody. So to piggyback on Sergeant Fernandez, so as your guys' liaison to the department, a lot of the things that we focus on, I put in the slide here. They're all links that you can access through this PowerPoint, or even if you just Google them, it'll take you right to the City of Phoenix website. Some of the main ones that I wanted to highlight that I think would be beneficial kind of to the youth of the Laveen area specifically is first and foremost the Police Activity League. Short, we call it the PAL. So their job, along with Sergeant Ryan Merrill, who coordinates that, is to engage with the youth across the city. It's a citywide program, but they do programs that focus on the youth. Some of their partners include Ability 360, Arizona Coyotes, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Arizona Rattlers, Boys and Girls Club, and Grand Canyon University. They do a lot of great things working with the children of the city of Phoenix. Another thing for some of our older participants tonight is going to be the Citizens Police Academy. You have to be 18 years old to be a part of that. However, it is a modified police academy that gives you firsthand experiences on what it's like to go to the police academy and exposes you to some of the things we do as a police officer. Now, on the top right of the slide, I kind of bullet pointed some of it, patrol, being a detective, the air unit, flying helicopters and fixed wing planes, special assignments unit, commonly known as the SWAT team, K9s, the dive team, motor unit, so much more. Another thing that I put on the PowerPoint here is going to be the Wake Up program. Some of you may have SROs, school resource officers at your schools. They are the ones who coordinate it per each school. The Wake Up program was created in 1994 to combat youth violence. But now it's focused on building relationships through students and the communities to stop youth violence as well. One of the things it teaches is social and personal responsibility. Some of the activities they do are going to be field trips and community service related programs. One other thing is going to be the cadet program. You must be 14 years old, but it is career-oriented program. So if you're looking for a career in law enforcement, this is going to be the program that the city offers for you. We held the cadets to a high standard. We go through training, patrol procedures, first aid, laws of arrest, leadership, and also the Cadet Academy. So those are some of the big programs I wanted to highlight, but looking at the slide, we have a total of 18 programs that you guys can access just from here. But if there's something that you're interested in that you think that the city may have, and it's not something that I put on the slide here, please reach out to me or any of the community action officers out of the precinct, and we will get you to the right department to help you. To kind of highlight some of the other things and briefly, we have safety tips for Halloween. Halloween just passed, but the city provides tips on how to have a safe Halloween. Some of the other programs are traffic safety education for people that are looking for tips on how to be a safe motorist. There's the holiday safety at home as we're coming up to the Christmas season here. We have obviously text to 911 is a big thing that a lot of people don't know about, but you can now text 911 and request help. We're a generation where we're text driven and don't really like to make phone calls anymore. Also, another one of the programs is you can report crimes online now. With that, you just report your thing on there. You don't even have to have an officer come to you. It'll be forwarded to the right bureau, and a detective will take it and investigate that. It was nice to be here and speak with y'all. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we will answer any questions. If it's something that we cannot handle, we'll get you to the right department or resource throughout the city to help you, okay? So now I'm going to pass it to Commander Frudenthal, who's going to close us out.
Good evening, everybody. It's an honor to be here. I wanted to quickly introduce myself. I think we're a little short on time here, but my name is Brian Frudenthal. I'm the commander of the Mary Estrella Mountain Precinct, and it's an extreme honor to be a part of this group, be a part of this meeting, but also to be a part of this precinct, the employees that serve your community, along with the community itself. One of the things I want to make sure we get across is we cannot thank everybody enough for the constant support that we get from the community. It has been overwhelming, even though we do see sometimes in the media a lot of a negative perception out there. I can tell you that's not the case in the Mary Estrella Mountain area. So we truly appreciate that support. One last program that I wanted to touch on because it's near and dear to me, we started approximately 4 years ago, was a partnership with FIT and South Mountain High School, which included the Laveen community. And we started a fitness program that builds an environment to develop and build relationships with all community members, including law enforcement. And it builds a positive community appreciation for all involved. We use a heightened sense of community. We organize programs and events to include community outreach, educational forums, volunteer events, community healing sessions, neighborhood cleanups, and so on. But it all started with a fitness program where we were able to develop community relationships through this fitness program and to get everybody together and just really build on the community. And it's just been a great experience. You have the opportunity to go into the fulfillment and training, the FIT, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, or the website itself to get more information on it. But if you have the opportunity, I'd love for anybody to be a part of that program. Again, we're a little short on time, so I want to thank you again for the opportunity, and we look forward to continuing to work together. That'll do it.
I just want to let everyone know, we do have 6 SROs that work with us from the Phoenix Police Department, and we really value and appreciate their partnership. The Phoenix Police support is very supportive in the Laveen School District, Laveen area, so these programs are incredible. I've heard a lot of great things about them in the community. So if you want to reach out to the Phoenix Police Department, remember when you take the survey at the end, you'll have that opportunity. Officer Garcia, thank you so much for having your team present tonight. We really appreciate it, and have a nice evening, sir.
Thank
Our
you
next
for having us. Have a
presenter-
good day.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Our next presenter is Battalion Chief Gamage from the Phoenix Fire Department. Battalion Chief Gamage, if you could unmute, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening to everyone. Actually, my rank is Deputy Chief. I'm with the Phoenix Fire Department. I'm the South District Commander. My area covers South Phoenix, Laveen, and Ahwatukee. My responsibilities are the personnel in that area, facilities, fleet, and community involvement. I've been on the fire department almost 30 years. Very proud member to be a Phoenix firefighter and enjoy the work that I do. I'm from South Phoenix. Both my boys live in Laveen, so I have a vested interest in this area, and I enjoy serving it. Some interesting facts about the Phoenix Fire Department is that we're very proud to be recognized as one of the best fire departments in the world. We serve the 520 square mile areas of Phoenix. We have approximately 1,700 sworn members and over 300 civilian members that support us and help us to operate and provide emergency services to the citizens of Phoenix. We run over 300,000 calls a year. About 85% of those calls are medical calls. 15% are fire calls. We have 58 stations, which has approximately 58 engines, 14 ladders, 24 full-time rescues or ambulance, and 15 part-time rescues. Our station in Laveen is Station 58. It's located on 47th Avenue in Dobbins. We house an engine company there, a rescue, a brush truck, and a tanker truck to respond to emergencies in the Laveen area. Some of the services that we offer the citizens are, of course, our bread and butter, which is fire suppression and emergency medical. As far as fire suppression goes, we respond to fires at car fires, house fires, apartment fires, commercial building fires. We try to respond there quickly. We usually like to get there within 5 minutes. Right now, we have a program going on to educate the public on move to the right for sirens and lights, to kind of educate everybody when you hear those sirens. If it's safe to do so, move to the right or stop where you are so we can get around you safely. On our medical calls, we respond to anything from heart attacks, seizures, high blood pressure, diabetes. We have highly trained paramedics and EMTs on those engines that are trained in life safety skills and life-saving skills, and we respond out. We pride ourselves on providing excellent customer service. We consider ourselves a family, and our slogan is, "Our family helping your family." We also have some special operations services that we provide to the citizens of Phoenix, which is hazmat and technical rescue. We respond to mountain rescues, confined space, and any technical type of rescue with our technical rescue teams. Our hazmat teams respond on any chemical, biological, radiation, or nuclear type emergencies that we have. And we're also one of 28 FEMA teams. Our USAR team responds on natural disasters and man-made disasters, and they've responded out to things like the Oklahoma City bombing, the 9/11 New York tower bombing, Katrina, and many other emergencies. We have an aircraft rescue and firefighting unit at the airport that's housed out there. You see all the links of support services that we have to help the citizens of Phoenix. We have a community involvement section that responds out to any special events and does presentations at community events also. The community assistance program is some paid and some volunteers that respond out with us when we have emergencies to where we need some crisis intervention for traumatic calls that we go on. And those respond out of the station off of 17th Avenue and in Dobbins. We have a car seat program that if you call and make an appointment, we have 4 stations that you can go by and get your car seat installed or inspected and make sure it's installed properly. The closest one for our Laveen community is going to be on 42nd Place and Baseline. It's Fire Station 32, 7620 South 42nd Street. You make an appointment, go by the station, they inspect your child seat and make sure it's installed properly. We have a fire setting intervention program for anyone 18 and younger that either accidentally or purposely sets fires. We bring them into an educational program and kind of cure that curiosity and tell them how deadly fires can be. So we have that program that we offer the community. We have a CERT program, which is the Community Emergency Response Team. They're volunteers that go out and help us when we have disasters within the community. They go out and assist us. We have our water safety team to help us with water safety education and help the kids around water. The cadet program is a program that kids or young adults 18 and over can volunteer and learn what it's like to be a firefighter and eventually test and become firefighters. They can do ride-alongs. They help us out at the academy. They volunteer for smoke detector walks, and they volunteer down at the academy. The fire prevention section is our inspection section. They go into buildings and make sure that they're following fire code, and that's our fire prevention enforcement division within the fire department. We have a baby shots vaccination program to where we provide vaccinations for underprivileged communities to keep their vaccinations up. And our paramedics do that program. We have a lot of employment opportunities, firefighters, dispatchers, and other support staff to provide a lot of opportunities for you to come in and enjoy helping other people. That's probably been one of the main things that I've appreciated about being a firefighter is that you're constantly helping those. And we do a little bit of everything. I've gone on calls to where we've actually, fixed meals for our customers that didn't have anybody to come by and fix a meal for them, provided people with the Red Cross services for shelter for the night. It's just a real rewarding job. And the Phoenix Fire Department, like I said, is one of the best organizations that there is around. We enjoy working for you, and please don't hesitate to call me. I'm located off of 220 East Rozier Road, right off of Central and Rozier. That's my district office right there. And I'm here for the community, and anything I can do to help, I'm willing to do that. I'd like to thank all of you for having me out, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Deputy Chief, I have a friend that's a firefighter, and he says, you know what, Joe, we do more than put out fires. After your presentation, that obviously came through. Thank you for your service, and thank you for what you do for our community.
Thank you.
Our next presenter will be Shannon Richmond for the Phoenix Block Watch. If you don't know what the Block Watch does, that they're actually very involved. They really do a lot of great activities. We actually partner with the Block Watch in the Laveen School District. We have several Wake Up Club within our school district. So Shannon Richmond, if you could please step up to the virtual microphone, we appreciate it, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Rizal. Thank you, Fern, and thank you for to everybody from the LCAC. I'm so excited to be a part of this organization. I am a director with the Maryvale Estrella Precinct 800 with the Phoenix Block Watch Advisory Board. And what we do, we are the partnership for anyone that is ready to reinstate a block watch in their community that needs, go ahead and forward that part of the slide. We help people get new block watches started, and we also assist block watches that may be struggling. Next slide, please. What is a block watch? Block watch, this is a simple program of neighbors watching out for each other. It is designed to enlist the active participation of citizens in cooperation with the police to reduce crime and improve the quality of life in their neighborhoods. What that means is it takes the entire neighborhood to really focus on deterring crime. And as a block watch leader, we aren't out there confronting. That is not our role. We deter. We create opportunities for our homeowners and our neighbors to feel empowered to protect their property. How does a block watch work? Block watch works when you and your neighbors use simple techniques to deter, delay, and detect crime and improve the quality of life for the neighborhood. Right now, Laveen is experiencing an influx of homeless encampments, especially near the Laveen Conveyance Channel. And we're working with our partners from Phoenix Police. We're working with Phoenix Cares. We're working as block watch leaders in unison to help each other out. We also support each other with Phoenix Neighborhood Patrol. And we just act as a bridge to anybody that may be struggling in their neighborhood to find the resources that they need to reduce crime. How do you get started? Since the police are unable to cover every neighborhood at all times, and being in the 800 precinct, I don't know how many of you realize how large this precinct is. We are everything south of I-10, all the way to the Gila River Indian Reservation. There's pockets of Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, but our police department is really covering a lot of ground. Even though we have what's labeled as 2 precincts, not both precincts are active, but we do rely on our officers to cover a lot of ground. So we ask that we kind of give a little patience and kindness when it comes to response time, because they are doing the best that they can. Since the police are unable to cover every step, you and your neighbors can stay safe by looking out for one another. Call the Phoenix Police Precinct you live in and ask to have the community action officer in your area contact you about organizing a block watch. That's what we also do with the Phoenix Block Watch Advisory Board. We act as a liaison for our community action officers. There's only a few in our precinct, so we actually have the ability to kind of get the ball rolling for a lot of our block watch leaders. We have our president tonight is assisting a brand new block watch with their first meeting. One important part of block watch that I am extremely excited about is our virtual block watch program. And what this is everybody seems to have a Ring camera, some kind of video. What this does is this assists our police department in accessing potential video and information on a crime. It's not live feed. They have to ask for permission for it, but you can register at phoenix.gov/police/blockwatch to improve your access, help them gain access to that video to solve a crime. Next slide, please. And if you could forward it, just tab it one more time for me. This is my favorite event, the annual GAIN event. GAIN is getting Arizona involved in neighborhoods. And with my previous presenters, Phoenix Police Department and Phoenix Fire, I had the honor of on holding my first GAIN event last year for my community, and it was such an exciting event. I had over 100 participants. The Phoenix Activities League was there with the Phoenix Cadets, which is a group of high schoolers that are looking forward to careers in law enforcement. We had a cops versus kids soccer tournament. We had soccer, technique kind of opportunities. It was a lot of fun. So this is one of the great opportunities that we do to celebrate our community. And we do this every year in October when it's not so hot. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we did have to hold off on our GAIN events for the year, but we are all in constant planning of these community events. So annual GAIN event is something that you'll hear a lot about if you are connected to your Block Watch. Next slide, please. How do we fund our Block Watches? So we are very fortunate to be in a city that has a program funded through a tax that was collected for quite some time. It's a small percentage of sales tax. And what it does is it provides funding for all of us Block Watch leaders. We had such a great turnout of requests that our city council has actually increased the amount of our grant to $12,000. And this provides a year's worth of funding for all of the services that we provide. So the community, the grab bags that we offer, the storage for all of our equipment, purchasing equipment for our GAIN events, handouts. We do a lot of handouts. That's one of the great things about being a Block Watch leader. I'm always out in my community offering tools on how to improve your and deter crime. One of my favorites is I hand out thank you cards in my neighborhood for everybody that has lights on, just to say thank you for lighting up the neighborhood. Light deters crime and it keeps away the blight. But the Neighborhood Block Watch Grant Program is a one-time annual grant that we write and request funding. It is competitive, and there is a scoring based on great writing skills. But your most important part is, how are you going to contribute that money back into your community? One of the best parts is we as volunteers, at an average rate of $28.50, save the city that amount of money for every hour that we donate of our time. My Block Watch alone has committed to donate 3,000 volunteer hours this year towards our community and towards our Block Watch. Next slide, please. I mentioned tools and I mentioned handouts. This is one of my most important tools, and this is just the stepping stone on getting to know your neighbors. I call this our Block Watch tree or our neighborhood tree, and what it is you put yourself in the very middle. I know it's a little bit small, but what it is you ask your neighbor, hey, can I get your phone number? Do you have an email? We have had so much crime deterred just from this tool alone. What this is many of us, myself included, I work from home now. And so I'm able to hear and see things that I wasn't able to see. If I see a U-Haul truck pull up into my neighbor's driveway, I want to ask him, hey, are you moving? That's just one of the tools that we use. And so we're so grateful that the Block Watch grant funding helps us to supply this information to our neighbors. Next slide, please.
Okay, Ms. Richmond, you have about a minute left.
Okay. The most important thing, see something, say something. Report suspicious activity to 911 or Crime Stop. The Crime Stop number is 602-262-6151. Put that in your cell phone. 911 is for any crime, violent crime, anything in progress. The Crime Stop number is for anything that's already happened or is not an urgent matter. Next slide. And tab it, there we go. So if you need to reach me, I'm at shannon.richmond@phoenixblockwatch.org. I also live in the Laveen community in the Arlington Estates neighborhood, and I am so grateful to share my information. Any questions, just reach out. I'll be happy to help. Thank you, everybody, for letting me participate tonight.
Ms. Richmond, thank you so much. We really appreciate the information. Like I said before, the Block Watch is a great partner with the Laveen School District. We were able to get wake-up clubs at several of our schools, so thank you so much. At this point in time, I'm going to have Ms. Ward introduce our guest.
Thank you very much. And like I told you a few minutes ago, Councilman Nowakowski was not yet available. Now he is. So thank you, Councilman Nowakowski.
Thank you, Ms. Ward, and thank you, Doctor. It's so important that people know all the different free resources that the city of Phoenix has, from our parks department to our neighborhood services, to our human services, to our Phoenix libraries. So, first let's talk about our Phoenix parks. They have right now all kinds of virtual recreational programs for children's. So if you have your kids at home, they're climbing out the walls and bouncing themselves around the house, well, the best thing to do is get them involved with our Parks and Rec. They have bingo, they have where you can paint and splash the classroom around. It's all kinds of new stuff that they have on virtual. So you can go to www.phoenix.gov/parks, and you can look up all these different programs that the Parks and Rec Center has. Also, you can actually be a part of adopting a recreational program. What's really important right now is looking into how do we help out some of those children that are in need, and a lot of them are people with disability. So what we're trying to do now is figure out how to create more of our rec centers being open to people with disability. So I'm very proud to say that Laveen is one of the first areas that really did a pilot program, and it worked out great. People from all over the city of Phoenix are coming out to Laveen because of the special program that we started with children of need. So, the other thing I talked about was our neighborhood services, right? So all these are really easy to look up. You just go to our phoenix.gov/housing. So, people right now are having problems with just making their mortgage payments. They need help. And what you can do is just go onto that website, and then we have housing counselors that can walk you through different programs, different services that maybe the city of Phoenix provides free. They will help you out with your water bill, your electrical bill, and all the different bills that you have right now. And there's actually a program for mortgages also. And if we can't help you, this counselor will find other programs throughout Maricopa County that can actually help you. And then we have our human services department, which is basically the phoenix.gov human services that offers all kinds of COVID relief. We have 2 vans. So if the community of Laveen wants to come together and say, hey, we'd like to have this van at a certain location on several different days, we can coordinate that or try to coordinate if the van's not already booked for those days. And basically, it's just an awesome experience. So you go in there and then you just fill out the application. It's really simple, and it's on an iPad. And if you don't have medical insurance, then it's free. The city of Phoenix, it's free, no questions asked. And then basically you go in there, they'll check you if you ever had COVID, if you have COVID at the present time, and if you're immune to COVID. So I think it's really important that we all get checked, especially with the holidays coming around, that we make sure before we either gather with a small group of people or our own family, that we should be all checked to find out where we are. And they'll actually give you a little sheet telling you that you've been checked. And if you need to use that for your employment or your employer, you can use that too. So it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and it's just a quick process. It's awesome. My whole family went through it twice already, and it's something that you all need to experience, and we can actually get it out to the Laveen area if you guys like, and we can work it out through the doctor or through friend that can do that. We can make that happen. The other thing is our Phoenix Library Department. Right now, a lot of our libraries are closed, but through phoenix.gov/libraries, we have all kinds of help. Right now, a lot of young people that are graduating from high school are really looking for financial aid. So we have College Depot that's online. So College Depot is is a group of counselors that help your young people that are going into college find scholarships. And that's something really important that a lot of times people say, well, I don't think I qualify for a scholarship. There's thousands and thousands of scholarships, and we have these individuals that are pros. They'll look it up. They'll try to find something for your son or daughter or your grandchildren, our nephews and nieces, our neighbors' friends that they're just experts, and then they actually hold seminars and all that. So they're doing a lot of stuff on virtual on the web. So if you guys have a chance, go ahead and do that. They'll help you through administration, filling out all those applications, and basically helping you out with the resume also. So if you happen to be out of a job right now, we have workforce development also. So right now, the Cesar Chavez Library is closed, but you can go online and we'll have people helping you out with a resume. So they'll help you actually create a resume for yourself, and they have virtual appointments for all this stuff. So that was just some of the free programs that we have in the city of Phoenix. A lot of you already know about our blight busters and our graffiti busters, that if you need to paint out the graffiti in your neighborhood or on one of your neighbor's fences, we have an application that they can fill out, giving us permission to paint over it anytime we see graffiti. But the good thing is it's free, and we actually match the paint of that wall. So if that wall happens to be brown, white, or whatever color, we'll match it, and we'll cover over the graffiti and match that wall back to its original color. So there's all kinds of great programs out there. And I know that I only had a certain amount of time, so I'm trying to cram everything in at one time. But feel free, to get a hold of us, that you can call our office. I know that Felicita is somebody who's really involved in Laveen. We both live out here in Laveen. So anything you all need, you can contact us, and we'll be more than glad to help you out. Any other questions or concerns maybe that you might have?
Not yet, but Councilman Nowakowski, that was excellent information. Thank you so much. And thank you so much. Your chief of staff brought down some great raffle items. We really, the Laveen Community Action Committee and the city of Laveen, really appreciate your support, sir.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And if you ever need like a radio station to support or get the word out, I actually run a Spanish-speaking radio station here in the Valley.
We will absolutely contact you next time that comes up, sir.
All righty. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. Now let's have some fun. Tonight's raffles, first I'd like to thank everyone for the presenting tonight and for you for tuning in. Tonight's raffle rules. Check out the YouTube description for the website link, the QR code on the screen, and scan for the website, and you can also type it in. You will need to access the LCAC website in order to participate. Be quick. First two to answer correctly will win the raffled item. You will be notified of the winner within 48 hours. The email address to send the answer to is below at lcac.contact@yahoo.com. Again, that's lcac.contact@yahoo.com. So I will say the question, then you will have a chance to look for the answer and respond via email. I will have the answer to the question in the next raffled item. For the final question, I will share the answers before information on the survey. So let's get started. Everyone ready for raffle number one? The raffle is sponsored by Phoenix Fire and Urban Farming Education. Thank you. Question one, name the 3 focus groups within LCAC. Again, name the 3 groups within LCAC. Question number 2, on the homepage, tell us 1 upcoming event with the date. Again, question number 2, on the homepage, tell us 1 upcoming event with the date. Again, I will answer the question in the next raffle item. Let's get back into the program.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. That is very exciting. It gives you the opportunity to learn about the Laveen Community Action Committee and win some very cool prizes. The next presenter is going to be covering food resources. He will be representing urban farming education, Mike McMahon. He's been very instrumental in helping us with our food giveaways. If you're not familiar with our food giveaways, we're giving away about 30 to 40,000 pounds of food twice a month. And Mike McMahon's organization, Urban Farming Education, and the Fresh Food Collab actually pick up the food from St. Mary's Food Bank. They box it up, and then they show up here at Laveen and at MC Cash, and they help us give it away. We've given away about 200,000 to 300,000 pounds of food, and we're not done yet. We have another food giveaway December 19th, and we have 2 planned in January, February, and March. We'd love to have you come out and volunteer. But again, Mike McMahon and his group have done an incredible job to help us implement this plan. So Mike, it's all yours, sir. Hey, Mike, at this point in time, you're going to need to unmute your mic and unmute your video.
Got it. Can you see me and hear me?
We can hear you.
Very good. Thanks, Joe, and thanks for having me on. I'll spend a few seconds or a few minutes here talking about what urban farming education is, who we are, and then what we do in Laveen, what we've been doing for the last few months. Urban farming is an offshoot from a community garden we built, Agave Farms in Central Phoenix. We have 17 acres there in Central Phoenix. Through the process of building that garden, we got in touch with a lot of different nonprofits, and we started getting pretty active in our community in Central Phoenix. And we realized that gardens were kind of needed all over Maricopa County, and that just having a central garden like we had sometimes is difficult to get to for people, especially people who have limited resources. So instead of having just the central garden, we decided to localize it in different areas. Where Agave Farms is an offshoot of Agave Environmental Contracting, which we're a large commercial landscape company. We've done a lot of subdivisions in Laveen, done a lot of work on the 202 and a lot of the streets out there. The offshoot of that was, of course, Agave Farms. We also have a company, Soil, Seed, and Water, in which we compost our own soils. And the soils and the worm castings and the products that we produce are what we use in our tools to grow the garden. Our main tool is what we call the Ready Go Garden bag system, which you see in this picture. But through Agave Farms, we became acutely aware of some of the needs in the community in regards to food scarcity. And then, of course, with our mission was then to build gardens that could help alleviate some of that. So we build the gardens for education, sustenance, for ecotherapy, social impact, and farming for a profit for some groups. So we can go to the next slide. And what we do is we build gardens. We develop programs around the schools or the nonprofits to help them further whatever their cause is, using the garden as a venue and as a resource. We also this year shifted what we were doing due to COVID. We saw a need for food in the community with a lot of people getting laid off. So we teamed up with St. Mary's, and we've been doing food drives in different parts of the city. And then we were approached by Laveen and started doing food drives there. We also deliver hot meals, and we create different educational resources that revolve around food, nutrition, and basic farming, urban farming, and agriculture. when we reacted to COVID, we developed a group of like-minded companies and started a movement called Fresh Food Collab. So we have 30 or I think 35 different organizations involved with that, including a lot of the nonprofits. We expect that to continue to grow. So you can see some of the pictures of different slides here. The circular labyrinth there is Grace Community Church. They do feed the homeless downtown on Roosevelt and 3rd Street. You see some slides here from Agave Farms. In the left corner there, you see a fire station, number 9. We're getting involved with creating these gardens so firefighters can grow fresh produce. We've done several schools in Avondale and Tolleson and South Phoenix. We expect that to grow. We'd love to see a garden in every school in the valley. You can go to the next slide there, Joe. So each garden is different. Sometimes people have a space on a patio, and our system works pretty well for that. Sometimes the gardens are bigger. Agave Farms, for instance, is 17 acres. So we have both the Ready Go Garden bag system in different locations, but we also have a couple of acres where we have nonprofits. We have International Refugee Committee. We have Project Roots. We have Native Health, Native Hospital, and several other smaller organizations that grow their own food for sustenance. We can tailor basically the garden to whatever the needs are, from big to small. Some gardens are put in for therapy, for PTSD. They're put in for elderly people. They're put in for education for kids, or they're put into different smaller community settings. We do a lot of shelters, and the gardens are really great for getting the community in those shelters to work together and to socialize. So next slide, please, Joe. So the food boxes, we've talked about that. Overall, to date, we've done about 420,000 pounds of fresh food. We've got over 30 partners working on it. We get generally on Saturday mornings about 35 to 50 volunteers from just our community. A lot of these people are loyal. We get them from all walks of life. They come in for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we put all the boxes together. We load them up on our semis and our reefer trucks, and then we come out to different locations and distribute them. When we go to these other communities, we rely on community support from those communities to help distribute those. But generally, we distribute them in 2 to 3 hours. So we know that they've made a big difference in a lot of people's lives. Some people had food scarcity problems before this epidemic, and you also see people pulling up in BMWs that they lost their jobs, and they need a little bit of hand right now as well. So next slide again. We are lucky enough to have 3 amazing chefs that have events centers of their own. They're kind of hurting in COVID because there's not a lot of people putting events on. But we've got Amici Catering and Witnessing Nature and Food, very much organic chefs, top chefs. Chef Danielle Leone is James Bard award-winning chef. She works with Jose Andres. I don't know if any of you know him, but he's like one of the top chefs in the world, and he's a guy you've probably seen on 60 Minutes. He goes to all the natural disasters, and he'll feed an entire city or an entire country. He's been all over the world, and kind of his connection with Arizona is with Chef Danielle. She's a big part of a political movement right now to try to get restaurants and restaurant workers some relief money. They got hurt the worst, and really the PPP program, I guess that's what it's called, really didn't help out the restaurants as much as it did a lot of other small businesses. So we've, through them, whether or not we've paid them or we've gotten some grant money, we've done over 14,000 meals to lots of different shelters and in town and different hospital workers. Next slide, please. On our website, if you go to our website, you'll see a lot of videos. We have a full-time videographer, and we have everything from gardening to nutrition to cooking videos, and it's really a great resource. Meditation, health benefits are all on the website. We fully expect to team up with some larger national organizations as well, and pair in with some of the resources they already have, like the Food Network. So next slide, please. And that gets us down to our involvement with Laveen. So Chris, who's the president of UFE, and myself serve on the Laveen Action Committee. And one of the things we look at in our particular group is resources. There's a lot of great people in our group that are dealing with a lot of publication, getting information out to community neighbors to help them with whatever issue they're incurring right now.
Hey, Mike, you got about 1 minute.
Okay, I'll wrap it up. So we are currently putting in proposals for the grade schools and at least one of the high schools for putting gardens, pretty extensive gardens in at the schools. We're also working with our committee looking at the initial due diligence of a large community garden for Laveen. So far, as Joe said, we've done about 210,000 pounds. So you can kind of go to the next slides. This one just shows how many elementary schools and high schools in Arizona. We think everyone should have a garden. The next slide is just some renderings of gardens that we've worked on or are working on. Vincere Cancer Center and a few others. Next slide, please. Again, more renderings. And then the last slide is just our contact information. And you see one of our food trucks right there. That's one of the small ones that we deliver food with. So I thank you for your time. Thanks, Joe.
You know, and honestly, Mike, again, a big thank you from the Laveen School District. You've been instrumental in helping us distribute food from our community. But, you know, I'd honestly say to our community, if you want more information on nutrition, on gardening, Mike is more than just seeds in the dirt. He really has his hands on the pulse of all the innovation, or a lot of innovation within the field. So it's not just about distributing food. He really does get out there and encapsulate the what's going on, what's new and fresh within the field. Thanks again, Mike.
You bet.
Hello, everyone. I'm back with the second raffle, but first, I would like to go over the first raffled question. Name the 3 focus groups within LCAC. You have the current resources, ties, and the gap stop. The second question from the first raffle, on the homepage, tell us an upcoming event, the date and the time. Our next upcoming event is December 19th at the Laveen Education Center from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now let's get into the second raffle. This raffle is sponsored by Phoenix College, thank you, and Grand Canyon University. Welcome. So for the first question, let us know how you will use the LCAC website. Again, let us know how you will use the LCAC website. Question number 2, from the ties page, let us know a 2021 project. Again, question number 2, let us know a project from ties for 2021. I will answer the question in the next raffled item.
Thank you, Ms. Cole. That was great. Our next group that will be presenting educational resources. From Grand Canyon University, we have Corey Araza. From Phoenix College, we have Kimberly Anderson. And from Skillstruck, we have Talon Hatch. Our first presenter is from Grand Canyon University, Corey Araza. Ms. Araza, if you could unmute your video and microphone, the floor is all yours.
Hello, and thank you so much, Dr. Rossell, for having me tonight. Grand Canyon University is a very proud sponsor of anything educational in the Laveen district. And we know that you have the hardest working teachers, and boy, have they gone through a hard 2020. So thank you, all of you administrators and leaders, for helping them to do their job as best as they can in a challenging time. So I just wanted to let you know, first and foremost, we have some resources for teachers. And this website that you're looking at right now is the K-12 Educational Development YouTube channel. So this is accessed at bit.ly/K12EdDev. It's linked in this slideshow. I hope that these slides are going out to you all so that you can easily access it. You can also go to YouTube and just Google Grand Canyon K-12 Educational Development. It'll pop right up. What's neat about this channel, folks, is that there are several playlists for students, for parents, for teachers, and for administrators. We do a live Wednesday webinar. Now we're doing them every month. Our next webinar is January 13th, live. It's a 12 to 1 lunchtime webinar, and that will feature self-care for teachers, getting into the new year, how to take care of ourselves before we can take care of our students. So definitely join us for that. But if you can't join us live, this website is exactly where you want to go, because all of these are archived. So we have archived webinars, which are 1 hour long. We also have tips of the day. Those are great for teachers who are just looking for an educational resource. 1 to 2 minute, or like 2 to 5 minute clips to show teachers a little bit about an educational tool, and not just teachers, but for parents as well. And we also have a parenting practices for parents as a playlist as well. We're unveiling the STEM. Actually, we have about 7 or 8 videos on our STEM college knowledge playlist. So there's STEM college knowledge and then regular college knowledge. Our hope is that kids in Laveen see themselves as college-going students. As the director of STEM outreach, my hope is that students pursue STEM careers, and it doesn't matter where they go as long as they're pursuing those challenging careers. We want to support them to get there. So thank you for that. Next slide, please. That is this. Well, look at, I talked over my slide here. I have a slide for those lunchtime webinars. So those are accessible through that YouTube website in an archived fashion. But you see that some of those topics, self-care for teachers, we also have February 10th is going to be PBS Learning Media. So we have experts that come on and talk about what they can offer for free to teachers and parents and students. March 10th, we're going to do Grand Canyon University's College of Education to really help our teachers. So this is definitely a great piece of free resource for teachers. So please share those with your teachers and also with your parents, because we know that your parents are the first teachers of their children, and this year even more so, considering everything is online. So thank you for that. Joe, our final slide here. Thank you for that. So this is a bit long, but I just wanted to show you who we are. This is our team. This is actually our last year's Christmas photo. We have changed a few individuals here, but we are so excited to be here to support you and whatever you need. So these team members from outreach and development to our operations team and our alliance team is really consists of former superintendents and principals that are here to support leadership in school districts throughout Arizona. So we're just really happy to be here for you. And whatever you need, please let us know. My contact information will be available after this meeting at Grand Canyon University, and you can certainly Google us. And we are just here to support you in everything that you do in Laveen. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll turn it over to our partners in education, Phoenix College.
Thank you so much, Ms. Corey Araza. We really appreciate you being here tonight. And I also want to remind all the participants that we will be sending out this presentation. It will be linked to the YouTube website. So if you want to see a copy of the presentations with all the links and everything on there, it will be on the YouTube site. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Kimberly Anderson from Phoenix College. Ms. Anderson, if you could unmute your microphone and video, you are now ready to present.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you to the LCAC for this opportunity to share with you this evening. I'm honored to represent Phoenix College and our president, Dr. Larry Johnson Jr. My name is Kim Anderson Duru. I'm a program analyst in the president's office. Also a very proud Phoenician and a product of the Maricopa Community College system. So delighted to be here to share with you this evening a little bit of background about Phoenix College and some of the ways we support the community at large. So if you could advance to the next slide, please. So as you can see from this photo that was taken early last year in early January when we were still able to be in close proximity to each other, 2020 is a very important year for our institution. This is our 100th anniversary of providing educational service within the Phoenix community. We were really looking forward to a year in 2020 filled with reflection, celebration, and planning for the future. And while we've been able to do many of those things, it has certainly looked a little different, as many of your services and experiences have, of course. And we've really had to be nimble to meeting the needs of our community as the pandemic has evolved. But that's something that our 100-year history, I think, has prepared us with the resiliency to be able to adapt to do. When we were founded in 1920 by the leaders of Phoenix Union High School, they were coming out of a global pandemic. They were facing many social and economic challenges and uncertainties at that time. And they recognized the need for an institution in the city of Phoenix that could provide access to post-secondary education for students and provide them with more opportunities for an excellent education. And we were really founded with that vision and with the overall vision of inclusion and equity as a guiding principle. At that time, Phoenix Union, where our leaders came from, was segregated, as were many institutions. But when we opened our doors on September 13th, 1920, we were not a segregated institution, and we never have been. And we continue that legacy of inclusion and equity today. We're very proud to be a Hispanic serving institution, and very proud of the fact that our student population, over 70% of them are either first generation or from underrepresented groups within the higher education field. So we continue to serve those most in need in the community. If you could go ahead and advance to the next slide, please. So I'm excited also to share that some of our background that I'm sharing with you this evening is commemorated in our new coffee table book, which is titled Our Past, Your Future. It has been published just this fall. It was compiled by PC alumna and distinguished author Stella Pope Duarte, and she spent countless hours combing through the PC archives, which, as you can imagine, are extensive with our century of history behind us, to really weave together the story and the legacy of PC and the many ways we've been supporting, again, the most underrepresented students and providing them excellent education and opportunities for achieving their dream. So a shameless little plug, I will say it's out just in time for the holidays and makes a wonderful gift for anybody who's been impacted by Phoenix College and the legacy within the Central Phoenix area. And continuing our legacy of supporting students, the proceeds from this book actually support scholarships to help future learners accomplish their goals. So it's something we're very proud of and something that really highlights our impact on the community over the past 100 years. If you can go ahead and advance to the next slide, please. So, as I mentioned, we certainly had to make a pivot from just celebrating our centennial year this year. In mid-March, it became obvious, of course, that in-person traditional education would not be able to continue as normal. And our dedicated faculty and staff really committed themselves to working tirelessly to transition instruction to the online format. They actually transitioned over 800 courses from in-person to online learning within 2 weeks. Concurrently, our student affairs team was able to transition their services to virtual to ensure minimal interruption, so students continued to have support for services like financial aid, career services, tutoring, library services. That support was able to continue for all of our learners throughout the community, which just goes to show the student-centric nature and how committed PC is to supporting the community overall. In addition, broadly, even beyond our student population, we certainly recognized that a lot of the basic needs within the community not only, of course, were placed on pause with the pandemic, but really increased. The need was greater than ever. And so our staff worked really diligently to determine ways that they could transition the services we normally provided to the community and to our students in ways that were safe and protected their health and well-being. So they worked with St. Mary's Food Bank to transition our traditional food distribution program to a drive-through program. And we actually just had another drive-through event earlier today on campus where members of the community and our students are able to come to campus and have food services from St. Mary's. In the fall semester, we were fortunate enough to be able to reopen our on-campus food pantry. We have a new system in place where students can actually go online on the phoenixcollege.edu website, and they are able to request items from our food pantry and then schedule an appointment time so they're able to come to campus to our Student Life and Leadership Division and be able to receive those items safely. Our information technology team, along with our counseling department, was able to develop a device loan program that helped get technology in the hands of learners who didn't have access, because as we all know, the digital divide is certainly a huge concern right now. And then we've also been providing COVID testing for the community in our North parking lot in partnership with Embry Women's Health. You can go ahead and advance to the next slide. And of course, we are looking towards our next 100 years. We've got some exciting initiatives on the forefront that continue to serve the needs of our community. Neighborhood College is a concept that our president, Dr. Larry Johnson, developed in partnership with Phoenix City Manager. And what the Neighborhood College is a program that brings our educational services to organizations on site. Again, trying to break down barriers. So for organizations who have employees who need to advance their training, develop new skill sets, perhaps upskill to advance in their careers, Neighborhood College allows us to break down the barrier of people needing to come to campus by instead allowing us the opportunity to bring advisors and faculty to them directly. In September, we launched our Maricopa Information Technology Institute at PC downtown, so just a short distance from Laveen in downtown Phoenix, right in the heart of the education sector down there. We launched the ITI, as we call it, which is really focused on advancing technology and technology education. As we know, the pandemic has again highlighted how important technology is in our world and how connected it keeps us, and it is a booming field with lots of opportunity for learners in their careers. So that's something we're very excited to be launching. In early March, we will be holding a Future of Work Summit where college leaders, in partnership with our other City of Phoenix based sister colleges, Paradise Valley, South Mountain, and Gateway, will be hosting a Future of Work Summit, and we'll be working in collaboration with industry partners to really start to tease apart some of the future needs of the workforce to make sure we're staying innovative and on the cutting edge. And our team, our community liaison and our Associate Vice President of Information Technology Services have been working in really close proximity and collaboration with the City of Phoenix, Phoenix Union, and a number of K through 12 districts to address the digital divide. It goes well beyond just loaner devices and getting the technology in hands of students, but as we know, the pandemic has really highlighted disparities when it comes to internet access as well. And so that broader topic of the digital divide and how do we create access that is equitable and really available to all. And our team is working diligently on that. So a lot of great things for our community, for our learners, for people who are anywhere on the continuum of their educational path, be it advancing their education, starting their education. We really are here to be able to support them. So thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Anderson. And again, Phoenix College is a great partner with the Laveen School District. I know that your president, President Johnson, sits on one of our committees, and he does great work with us as well. So thank you so much for being here tonight. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Talon Hatch. Talon's actually coming to us all the way from Utah. Although I have to say, Talon, you are not the person that's farthest away. We actually have a viewer from New Rochelle, New York. At this point in time, Talon, if you go ahead and unmute your microphone and your video, you can go ahead and start your presentation.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dr. Zelk. So great to be here. And yeah, awesome to be here from Utah and be a part of the community, even, in a virtual setting. So glad to the good work that we have been doing so far with your community and being connected as one of the newer partners here and looking to share a little bit more about who we are as Skillstruck and hopefully different ways how we can be a part of your community and serve you. So our whole focus is in K-12 computer science education, as you can see, and kind of as it was hit on just barely by Kimberly, the tech industry is growing and continues to grow. And you've seen a lot of that specifically in the Phoenix area. And these are just some national numbers just to give you an idea of what that's looking like, of so many parents wanting their children to study computer science as a national number. But right now, where 25% of high schools in the United States and schools are currently offering computer science, when there's a huge amount of open computing jobs in the United States that's only continuing to grow with a great salary. So our big focus with Skillstruck is just trying to help prepare that next generation to meet these growing numbers and to be able to take advantage of the opportunity, particularly those that are in underserved populations, and give them opportunities. So we work a lot in K-12 schools as well as in community efforts to promote that growth. If we'll look at the next slide here, and just kind of going back to the idea of why behind computer science, it's pretty obvious, I think, for a lot of us, especially, in this virtual age where we've seen the effects of technology. We just see an overall increase in students' engagement in life as they engage in computer science. Their scores increase across the board in various subjects as they learn computational thinking and the logic that has to do with computer science. And obviously, it's becoming the new literacy for the rising generation, even right now. And so that ability just to have that life skill going forward will just give them a lot more opportunities once they enter the career space to find a path that fits for them and use the skills that we're looking to help students develop. Look at the next slide here. Part of that idea with that is kind of our focus is just trying to make computer science more simple and stress-free for educators who are starting to incorporate that in the K-12. Arizona has released these computer science standards and continues to fine-tune them and make it a bigger part of what your school districts are doing throughout the state, and states throughout the country are doing the same thing. And so obviously there's a lot of educators who need tools and training to be able to take this on, and also just make it a part of the core classroom so that every student has the same exposure, gets the same opportunities, not just to have only after school programs or things within a community or different clubs, but to really help that shift into those things as well, in addition to part of their core content and curriculum that they have. So make sure that every student has access and that teachers are empowered to take this on with a platform and tool, regardless of their prior experience within computer science, and to make sure that every student's getting access to that. And so on the next slide, you'll kind of see how we approach that. Sorry, Dr. Zell, you might have to click it one more time. Thanks, sorry about that. Just one example of kind of what we've done with some districts throughout the country and part of the community to help build these pathways for students so that they can get involved early and have that exposure. And if they would like to continue in exploring paths within computer science, to have these different pathway opportunities, whether they want to explore web development or software development. But we see as we really help students get exposure early in those earlier elementary years, they're more likely to stick with it as they reach into middle school and high school, particularly girls and underserved population students of color, to allow them to see those opportunities and connect them. And some of the big ways that we do it outside of just the classroom is something that as part of the community here and throughout the state of Arizona, we've been looking to do is to try to help have more exposure to this and get more people excited and involved in computer science. If we look at the next slide here, one way that we've done that, we've worked a lot with, in recent conversation with Laveen and also the SciTech Institute, is providing virtual student internship opportunities. So students within your community in the middle school and high school space can have opportunity to actually have a virtual internship with us. We're actually currently working this last semester with about 10 students across the country who work directly with our development team and to get exposure to computer science. We have a tier 1 where students have the opportunity, if they've never really had much exposure to computer science, to begin learning that with our team, going through some coursework, doing some quality and assurance testing, and discovering some potential pathways that they might be interested within computer science, learning some different programming languages and get their feet wet to find out if this is a career path that they'd like to do. And those students who excel in that or have prior experience in computer science actually can work with our team to build projects and have some opportunities that a lot of times is not available to high school students in the tech space. And so we worked a lot to try to start building those opportunities now for Laveen going forward, and also others throughout the state in the SciTech Institute. So that's been an exciting piece. If you go to the next slide, another part of that is doing community code nights. That's something we love to do with your community. And then we've done them a lot virtually, obviously, ever since COVID. But the idea of that is to get industry partners, families, students, teachers to be a part of these workshops where we're introducing all the different stakeholders involved to coding and computer science, to help break down stigmas and stereotypes that many have, to help them see, computer science and coding is not just for your weird uncle in a dark basement, coding in front of a dark screen with green letters going across, but there's a lot more to it than that, and that coding can be for everyone and should be, as it's becoming part of a new literacy. And so the idea of these community code night events is to have families get involved. We've done a couple of them that are actually bilingual code nights with a lot of the Latino populations that we serve with, to make sure that their family are involved with what their students are doing and are part of the community and are seeing those opportunities and are not involved simply because of language barrier, but that we can keep them involved and see the opportunities and help them get some exposure as themselves. And so we're looking forward to trying to continue to promote some of those different activities going forward and strengthen that partnership with Laveen and all the stakeholders involved. We'll just go to the next one here to finish up. So yeah, again, I am so grateful to be a part, and thanks for the time, Dr. Rozelle, to be with you all tonight as part of Skillstruck, and looking forward to an ongoing conversations with all of you and how we can continue to build this community.
Yeah, and Talon, thank you so much for being here tonight. We really look forward to our continued partnership. And I know that our chief science officers really enjoy working with you, and we're excited about possibly having that code night for the Laveen community. So thank you so much.
Yes, no, thank you. It'll be awesome.
Awesome. Everyone, I am back with the third raffle, but first I will answer the second raffle question. Question 1, let us know how you will use the LCAC website. An example of how the website can be used is to see current projects, upcoming projects, and community resources. And that's just to name a few. Question number 2, from the ties page, let us know a 2021 project, which will be the Laveen Community Family Matchmaker Project. All right, let's get ready for raffle number 3. This raffle is sponsored by the Faithful City First Things First, but this is the Faithful City prize. First Things First, and Urban Farming.
Education.
Education. Thank you. Question 1. Send us 3 links from the Gap Stop. That you will look and letting us know how you will share this information and give it out. Again, send us 3 hyperlinks from the Gap Stop page that you will look into to find more information and will share it. Question number 2, how will you promote the website? And who will you share the website with? Again, how will you promote the website and who will you share the website with? I will answer those questions in the next raffle before the survey. Thank you.
Okay, and our last section is community health. We have First Things First with Chantel Dixon-Mulatto and Nicole Burnt, Southwest Behavioral Health with Maddie Martinez, and the Faithful City with Shang-Hoon Yu and Shamari Jackson. Okay, the first community partner that we'll be presenting will be with First Things First. At this point in time, I would ask you to please unmute and start your presentation.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well tonight. My name is Chantel Dixon-Mulatto, and I have my colleague Nicole Barrett with me. And you will hear from her throughout this part of the presentation. We are from First Things First, and if you didn't know, we are a state agency. We fund programs in the Laveen community to support families with ages birth to 5. First Things First vision is to have all Arizona's children healthy and ready to succeed. To give you a brief history, we were a voters initiative in Arizona in 2006. And Arizonans were tired of being ranked low in education, so that's how First Things First was created. And it makes sense to work with young children because their brains are developing, and their brains develop at 90% by the time they turn 5, which is a critical time period to learn. And so then First Things First created 3 goals to help Arizona families, and they are to provide quality early learning, to build strong families, and to have healthy children. Now, speaking of healthy children, I just wanna make a point that since the pandemic, pediatricians noticed that parents have skipped their child's well-child checkups and their immunizations, and doctors are concerned that this can lead to outbreaks that have greater symptoms than COVID. So when you think about it, when a child is sick, it's difficult for them to think and concentrate, especially right now, because during these times, children are at school online. And so we encourage you to take your children to their doctor's appointments. Okay, next slide, Dr. Joe. And so now that I have shared the goals with you, I will quickly explain this picture. It's a great way to show you how we work in the community. We work with grantees, community partners, because they are the best messengers. They are the people you see every day or have a relationship with. They are your doctors, your faith leaders, your teachers, business owners, and local officials. First Things First provides grantees, community partners with resources and services to support families with young children. And because of this, we do not work with parents directly. Just to give you an example, tonight, being here at the town hall, this is a result of building a relationship with the community partner like Dr. Joe Roselle and the Laveen Elementary School District. And we're so happy to be here because we get a chance to spread this information to you, to many families all at once. And so we're just so thankful for his actions and being a part of the LCAC team. So now that I gave you a background about First Things First, my colleague Nicole will share with you more about our grantees and the services that we provide at no cost.
Hello, thank you. Dr. Roselle, if you could go to the next slide for us, please. Thank you very much. Awesome. Well, thanks for that great introduction, Chantel. Yes, and so, she set us up wonderfully there that we know those first 5 years of life are really this wonderful window of opportunity, which is why we at First Things First fund programs to really make sure that children have the healthiest development possible. And I'm going to share a few of those with you today. If you actually are able to go to our website, I highly encourage you to check it out at firstThingsFirst.org. We have a wealth of information there for you, and also our Find Programs link, which can take you to all of the programs and services that I'm going to be sharing this with you today. So it's an electronic link that you would just enter in your zip code, and you can find the services closest to that geographical area. So one program that I want to highly focus on is our preventive health programs, and one of them being our dental strategy, because we want to make sure that children have clean, healthy teeth as they grow, and also pregnant and expectant mothers. So if you want a teeth screening and fluoride treatment, First Teeth First is our grantee that provides those services for you. Right now, because of COVID, they're not really doing the fluoride treatments, it's virtual, but if you do require any further treatment, they can refer you to a dental specialist. We also have Well Child programs provided through Valleywise, which was once Maricopa Integrated Health System. And what this program allows for that parent or caregiver who has a child that may have a few more developmental needs or some coordinating of, care providers, this will link them up with a developmental specialist, and they can walk alongside that parent or caregiver and help them, essentially coordinate and plan services for their child. We also consider measuring health in different ways, right? Not just the medical health of our families, but when we think of health, we even think of community health, right? Also like the health of our communities, which ultimately is the health of the family unit. And so ways that we can make our families healthier is by making them stronger. And we do that through various programs available in Laveen. One is through the Phoenix Families First Center. And this center is located at Cesar Chavez. And this center is providing parenting education activities, resource and referral to information, and just like a general space of coordination, collaboration, and really supporting those families. I just took a look at their calendar today just to kind of give you an idea of some of the events that they have going on now. And all of that is virtual, to keep safety in mind. One of them they have up and coming is the grab and go activity. So they're going to be building a snowman on virtual platform together. They've also have kinder boot camps to get your little ones ready for kindergarten, building those skills early. Also music and movement, and even the 9 elements of positive parenting. So you can just see the diversity of programming that they will offer you as a family member of a young child. And we also have our Birth to 5 Helpline, which is a great resource. It's a statewide resource that you're able to call into. So it's a phone resource and ask any question that you might have about your child's development, sleep routine, behavior, and anything having to do with early childhood, right? And this is a great resource for new parents and also parents that have multiple children, because children don't come with manuals, not all of them are the same. They might have different needs. So this resource is really fabulous. I also wanted to clip along a little bit and talk about our strategies for strengthening early childhood education and our goal of really making sure that all childcare centers and homes in Arizona are providing education at quality levels for our young learners. And you're able to find, as a parent or caregiver, on our qualityfirstaz.com website, essentially local childcare centers and homes in your Laveen area. So where are these centers and homes located that are providing that quality childcare setting for your children? And then also some checklists and things to consider even before you visit the center. What questions to ask while you're there? Also what to look for, how to identify quality and make sure that you're finding the perfect center or home for your child. We also have, as a parent or caregiver, if you wanted some professional development, I know there were some educational speakers today, but I would like to point out that we have professional development scholarships through the Arizona Early Childhood Workforce Registry, meaning if you are interested in, learning more about how to care for little learners and get your certificates and developmental associates, please take a look at the registry and see how you can go about getting scholarships and your tuition paid for. So I know that was a lot to go through, and I know we were trying to clip along. I highly encourage you to visit firstthingsfirst.org. There's also our contact information here. You can always reach out to Chantel or myself. I know Chantel, I think, has one more thing to say before we let you go, and I promise it is quick, but thank you for your time.
Thank you, Nicole. So just to sum up everything, so before I close, I just want to mention about, you can find more about our resources, like Nicole said, on our website at firstthingsfirst.org. Also, we would like to encourage you to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we have updated articles, videos, and so much more. And we also just posted up our best gifts for young children's guide, which is a guide that has like age appropriate gifts for the holidays or any occasion. Yeah, and also too, please share this information. If it doesn't pertain to you, please share it to your family and friends. Let them know, because most of our advertisement is by the word of mouth. And we thank you for your time, and have a good night.
Thank you so much, First Things First team. That was incredible. I'd now like to invite Maddie Martinez from Southwest Behavioral Health to the virtual podium.
Thank you, Dr. Rizal. I am really excited to be here from Southwest Behavioral and Health Services and talk about our amazing partnership that we have with the Laveen School District. I am the school-based lead clinician for our school-based program, and I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that. And then I will be passing it over to my colleague Shamari, who's going to talk about a couple of other programs that we have. So if you can go to the next slide, please. So Southwest Behavioral and Health is a program, an agency, a behavioral health agency here in Arizona. We provide a large array of services ranging from residential all the way to our outpatient clinics, and our school-based program is an extension of our Erickson outpatient clinic. So we provide school-based on-site behavioral health services, and the idea behind this was to break down some of the barriers and to accessing services, behavioral health services, by being located right on campus, being another added support on there to support students in their learning and just their overall general health and well-being. You can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So our services, we cover all 9 of the Laveen schools. We have clinicians that are assigned to each of those schools. And so any of the students within the Laveen School District are eligible for services. You see here a very short list of some of the more common reasons that we see students being referred for behavioral health services or seeking services. Definitely school-related concerns come up quite often, but really anyone who is in need of additional support, behavioral support, is eligible for services. Obviously right now with the pandemic and everything going on with virtual learning and all of the changes with our students, we know that the need is rising. And so any student who is struggling and needs that extra support is eligible to receive services through us at one of those Laveen schools. We also obviously have our outpatient sites that are nearby, that if there's a family member or a friend of one of our students in Laveen, we do our best to get them connected there. We are a access provider, so we primarily see students who have access insurance, but we do now have options for seeing students who may have private insurance or who do not have any type of insurance coverage. We have different block grants and opportunities that we can work with families to make sure that everyone has access to our services. If you can go to the next slide, please. So here are a list of some of the services that we provide. We provide client-centered and strengths-based individualized services. So obviously the on-campus, on-site individual, family, and group therapy. We also have options for additional services for family members out of our outpatient. So if there's parenting support groups or parenting educational groups, we can get them involved in that. We provide services through what's called a child and family team process. And so that is a big reason why we're on campus as well, is including in the school staff, teachers, administrators, whoever is a support to the student. We want to bring them alongside and create a team of support for that student in need. So really working closely with the school on those things, providing community resources, and we also just became integrated. So all of our sites have, all of our outpatient sites have primary care services that our clients can also access, as well as full psychiatric services if someone is looking for medication management and anything related to that. We have those as well. And right now, with virtual learning, we are primarily through telehealth to maintain, the guidelines, but we can provide in-home and community-based services on an as-needed basis to make sure that we're meeting the need of each student. You can go to the next slide, please. So how to get started. So as I mentioned, each school has an assigned clinician. So the best place to start is by reaching out to the school if there is a need for a student to get connected to our services. The school counselor at each school is the primary contact, and they have the referral forms that need to be filled out. It's a basic referral form with some general information so that we can get in contact, a little bit of information about what's going on and what the need is, and then making sure that they've made contact with the family and are aware of the referral, and then they will send it over to us. We will take that information and our clinicians will reach out directly to the family. So if there's any need at all, make sure you're connecting with the schools and talking with the school counselor to get connected to us. If there's any additional questions on our specific services, my information is going to be at the end of our presentation, but I'm going to pass it over to Shamari Jackson.
Hi, I am, hold on a second. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm gonna just leave it right there. My name is Shamari Jackson. I am the project coordinator for the South Mountain Works Coalition. We are funded through a drug-free communities block grant through the CDC to reduce youth substance use in South Phoenix. We are actually under the umbrella of Southwest Behavioral and Health Services. So I get to partner with Maddie a lot. They service a lot of the schools that we work with and collaborate with, primarily all the schools that we service and collaborate with. And I also get an opportunity to partner with other organizations like First Things First and the Phoenix Police Department's Wake Up Club at a lot of the schools that we service. So most of our activities, we're a coalition that focuses on engagement of these 12 different sectors of a community to come together on a monthly basis to figure out how to basically reduce youth substance use in the community. So we do this through certain activities like public information and social marketing, So getting the information out to the community and teaching the community about the risk and consequences of substance use. Community education, where we train adults and students alike to understand those risks and consequences and know how to create community change. We host youth council and leadership groups at several of the high schools in South Mountain, and we partner with most of the schools in Phoenix Union High School District and throughout Roosevelt School District. And then we also just do general community development. So finding out the needs of the community and just trying to help mobilize around those needs. Some of our focuses are on youth substance use prevention and really just creating the awareness of drugs and alcohol use and educating our youth and our families and changing the norms and the attitudes of our communities. We focus on trauma-informed care, which we work to develop trauma-informed care initiatives, develop trauma-informed community. Currently, we're working with several schools in Roosevelt School District and Cesar Chavez High School, implementing some trauma-sensitive practices. And we also focus on community harm reduction, increasing knowledge about overdose prevention and disease prevention throughout our community.
You've got about 1 minute.
Okay. These are just some of our partners. We focus within these 12 different sectors that include the media, healthcare, law enforcement. We have regular subcommittee meetings and meetings. We partner with South Mountain Community College and a host of other community partners. If you have questions, that's Maddie's email and my contact information. And we meet every second Friday of the month via Zoom until we resume back in person at the South Mountain Community Library.
Maddie Martinez and Shamari Jackson, thank you so much for your presentation for this evening. And now we have the Faithful City. Sean Yoon, if you go ahead and step up to the mic.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Rosal, and everyone. Wonderful presentations and partners. As a last group, I'm so blessed and honored. Okay, give me a couple of minutes to hear. The Faithful City is founded as a campus ministry 25 years ago and serving the young people from all nations. And we are now scattered to all nations, the global community, and based on Arizona State University. Our three emphasis is in that servant leadership, multiculturalism, and trauma-informed care. Next slide, please. So with our servant leadership, we award exemplary community leaders every year as well as the students. Last year, you can see that Mr. Shamari Jackson, my co-presenter, he got awarded as a champion of servant leadership, awarded by Pastor Aubrey Barnell about New Life, First New Life Church in South Phoenix. And the next picture shows that Tempe Mayor Corey Ooze came out to our park service. We were the first group adopted a park in the city of Tempe, working with the Hudson Manor and beautifying the Hudson Park every month for 10 years. So he did the proclamation to celebrate our 10th anniversary. At the time, last month, we had a few students from South Phoenix. They are so inspired. So with the South Phoenix Youth Council, we want to extend that adopting the park and for the beautification in coming future. Next slide, please. And also you can see these pictures of young people, and we have been partnering with the Magellan National Mental Health Organization last for 10 years. They have a My Life program, which is now spread out to the whole nations, originated in our state of Arizona. So we've been partnering with the Magellan to empower and mentor the young people with the mental health issues and traumatic childhood and homelessness issues. So they become our servant leadership program partners, and then they are now in the community as servant leaders and proudly. So we continue our cause of the mentoring and then leading the young people for the good cause of the community. Next slide, please. And with that, and I founded the Arizona Trauma Informed Faith Community 4 years ago, which has been exponentially grown and as well as nationally recognized. So what is this? This is kind of advancing trauma informed care with the faith community, but the main focus is connecting the faith community with all sectors, governor's office and schools and other mental health organizations. So we have an annual statewide conference, and it's coming up on next February 12th. And also, which has 13 tracks of the 13 professional fields all coming together. And we have 7 regional meetings every month. And the South Phoenix, we have every second Friday, we are gathering together. And also we are working with each organization, about 50 organizations to be a trauma informed. Out of this, we have about 50 statewide core leadership with over 3,000 email list. So hopefully that we can more reach our all churches and synagogue and mosque in the South Phoenix area. Next slide, please. And it simply shows all the activities we have been doing, and actually it also shows that the ACES Summit. I'm the board member of the ACES Consortium in Arizona, and we invite Dr. Bruce Perry 2 years ago, working co-partnering with the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family as a statewide conference. Dr. Rosal, next slide, please. And also I'm serving the South Mountain Coalition, Works Coalition as a vice chair. So Mr. Shomari Jackson and we have been working together several years in our area. And actually with our all pilot program that Shomari already kind of explained a little bit, we got the grant from the Vitalist Health Foundation. And so we are kind of excited to build a whole South Mountain area as a trauma-informed community with a healthy and resiliency program. So Mr. Shomari gonna explain that with a couple of next slides.
Thank you again, Sang-Hoon. I appreciate it. Let me see if my camera is working. There we go. So as Sang-Hoon said, we were funded through a Vitalist Health Systems Change grant that gave us an opportunity to work with the Arizona Partnership for Healthy Communities, Vitalist Health, and some of our own community partners like Southwest Elementary, the Faithful City, and the coalition, the South Mountain Works Coalition. And we developed our own trauma-informed community building model, which is being implemented throughout South Phoenix right now, which focuses primarily on developing trauma-sensitive schools, taking traditional community development and doing it with a trauma-informed lens, and training our service providers and creating organizational change based on trauma-informed practices and ideas. Next slide. Here are some sites and some pictures from us just implementing this. We've been working on this project for about 2 to 3 years. Up in the left-hand corner, we're at Southwest Elementary with Sang-Hoon training. We've done trainings at South Mountain Community College and are working to develop the trauma-sensitive community college over there. And to the left are some of our student photos. Our South Mountain Works Youth Council to the left, meeting at the library for their weekly meeting. And then our South Phoenix Black Student Union town halls that we produce in partnership with our BSUs at all the South Phoenix, Phoenix Union High School District schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shomari. So the trauma-informed community, I call this as a journey. So within the organization, we work with about 4 pillars process, about 3 to 5 years for the change. And it starts with the awareness, and then it awareness training, and then we're gonna establish accountability system in the organization with the staff, and how we're going to build the resilience and self-care. Not the people we are serving, but the service providers first. And then after that, we're gonna build the organizational culture as a trauma-informed, which is gonna move forward to the policy establishment. And in the end, out of this, we wanna engage with the community, learn about the community, and we are working together with the community to raise our servant leaders, trauma-informed servant leaders for the future advocacy and policy making. You know, in a trauma-informed care, the most important word is relationship, connectivity. So we are not only working with young people, we are working with all generations, all cultures, and how we can come together, because we are in a holistic community health movement. So hopefully you and I all together and working together for the future. And the last slide I'm gonna show, Dr. Rosen, please, thank you, that our contact information and the facebookcity@gmail.com, and also showmarijay@sbhservices.org. So if you have any questions or interested in working with us, please contact us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for presenting tonight. That was very informative. We really appreciate your time. At this point in time, I would like to invite Ms. Koloff to do the announcement about the survey, and she's going to talk about the raffle as well.
All right. So I'm going to go over the third raffle and the questions to that. So we asked you to send us 3 hyperlinks from the Gap Stop that you will look into knowing more information about and will share. The answer is there are just so many resources and you can share with everyone. Question number 2, how will you promote the website? Who will you share the link with? Share the LCAC website via social media. Visit our YouTube channel, scan and save the QR code, and word of mouth. That concludes the raffles for tonight's town hall. Thank you for the amazing raffled items. We will notify winners within 48 hours. Now I'd like to get into the survey. Special thank you for everyone who presented, and thank you all for joining. After the town hall, please fill out the survey. You will have until next Friday, December 18th. These sponsored prizes, that is going to be a bonus, is from the Phoenix Police, the Phoenix Block Watch, and more. All you have to do is fill out the form, and we will have a drawing at random, so everyone has a great chance at winning. The link to the survey will be in the YouTube description. Recording of tonight's town hall will be up within 24 hours. Thank you all.
Hello, hello. Steve Gallardo is a West Phoenix native and a graduate of Trevor Brown High School. He served in the Arizona House and Senate and on the Cartwright School District for 8 years. He's currently entering his 3rd term as our District 5 Maricopa County Supervisor and his 2nd term on the Phoenix Union High School Governing Board. Supervisor Gallardo also serves on the Current Resources Subcommittee of the Laveen Community Action Committee. Supervisor Gallardo?
Thank you, Fern. First of all, let me say a big thank you to all our presenters, all the various organizations and providers that joined us this evening to share the projects that they're working on, the services that are available, and how you as citizens of the Laveen community can reach out and receive some of these services. I do want to say a couple of thank yous because if it wasn't for this great group of folks coming together and really working hard to provide this virtual town hall that today may not have been possible, I do want to say a thank you to Dr. Jeff Sprout, our superintendent of Laveen School District. Thank you so much for participating and being part of this town hall. Dr. Joe Roselle, organizer of LCAC, thank you so much for all your efforts in making today possible. And also our IT department right here in Laveen, Richard Pena, he's behind the scenes. You're not seeing him, but if it wasn't for folks like Mr. Pena putting all his technology knowledge together to make sure we're all connected and we're all able to participate and hear the presenters, this would not be possible. I do want to just say this, and one of the things that I come to find out as a county supervisor is just talking to folks. There are so many individuals, family members, friends that face tremendous challenges economically, socially. There's tremendous need out there. And how do we connect folks to services that are already available, that they may be eligible for? They just don't know about it. We haven't been able to connect with them yet. And one of the things that I've done in Maricopa County is how do we get outside of the downtown area? Let's get into the community. Let's start talking to folks. Let's get them engaged, and let's start sharing some of the information we have and provide that to the community. In the midst of this pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, it has changed everything we do. Tonight alone, we're having a virtual town hall. This is how we are working to communicate with our families out here in Laveen. Many families right now are looking to see, hey, how can I not only learn more about the services that are provided, but how do I help perhaps a neighbor or a family member or someone that goes to their church that may need help? And how do I connect them? Well, this is how we connect them. The Laveen Community Action Committee was organized specifically for that purpose. How do we connect people to services? Let it be the city of Phoenix. Let it be Maricopa County. Let it be the state of Arizona. Maybe a federal program, or maybe a nonprofit or a church that is providing services. How do we connect them? The services are there. We just need to be able to connect families and friends to these services that would be helpful, that will help a family navigate not only through a pandemic, but sometimes just through some difficult times. One of the things that we work on really close in Maricopa County is the issue of domestic violence. How do we help some of our family members and friends that might be in a tough situation right now and have no idea where to go, have no idea where to turn? They may feel a little embarrassed, they may be a little ashamed, they may be trying to keep it a secret. Our message in Maricopa County when it comes to the issue of domestic violence is we're here to help. We're here to be able to provide this type of resource for you if you're in a tough situation. Or let it be the issue of just COVID-19, something that we're all having to deal with. COVID-19 has changed everything we do on how we operate in our workplace, how we operate at home, how do we work with our school children. It has changed everything. And what we have seen so far are cities, school districts, the county, the state, all working together in a partnership to be able to not only provide services to families, but even help them through this pandemic. And that's what the Laveen Community Action Committee is all about. It's about bringing people together. It's about bringing families together. It's about bringing folks engaged into what's going on, not only in our community, but perhaps maybe provide these types of programs and services together. Yesterday, I participated in a West Valley Mayor's meeting. 20 mayors across the valley coming together to talk about one issue: homelessness. How do we address the issue of homelessness, not only just in Phoenix or in downtown Phoenix, but from a regional concept? Regional issues require regional solutions. It's about partnership. It's about working with all the different cities coming together. And it's about bringing organization. Maricopa County, we work with around 130 different nonprofit, faith organizations, governmental entities. We work with around 130 just to deal with homelessness. So how do we now navigate through all that? How do we bring everyone together to be able to address the issue of homelessness? How do we get families on the path of permanent housing For those that are just struggling to make ends meet and pay their rent or their mortgage, how do we help them just get through that period in their lives where they need assistance? That is what the Laveen Community Action Committee is all about. It is about bringing people together. It's about working with nonprofits and faith organizations and churches. It's about working with governmental entities to solve the problems that families may be facing. But we do it together. That old slogan of it takes a village. Sometimes it does take a village. It's everyone coming together, working together. So I'm hoping that everyone here that has joined us this evening takes it upon themselves to encourage others to be part of the Laveen Community Action Committee, to be able to bring more folks together, to be able to spread the word. If you go to the QR code, and I think they're going to show it. Are they not going to show it? Is it up? Okay, so if you go to the QR code, you'll be able to go to the website for the CLAC, or you can even go to the Facebook and friend the organization. There's a Facebook account. Can't have an organization without a Facebook account. We have a Facebook account. Go to it, friend it, be part of this great organization. When you go to the website, go to the Gap Stop. That's where you're going to find all the organizations that are available, all the different services and programs. And guess what? We're going to continue to add different organizations, nonprofits, and services that are provided by all governments. So we can help each other. We can help everyone in our community. So I just want to thank everyone for being part of today's town hall, virtual town hall. COVID-19, like I said, changed everything, including on how we conducted this town hall. We're doing it virtual. And hopefully, when this whole pandemic is behind us, and folks, there is light at the end of the tunnel when dealing with this pandemic. When this is all done and we're back to normal living, and we're able to come together as a community, we will hopefully have our next town hall in a live person setting. But until then, let's continue to work together. Let's continue to spread the word. Let's continue to bring more folks to be engaged in LCAC, because the more folks that are involved, the more organizations, the more people working together, we just make Laveen community that much stronger. It's about leadership. It is about making each other stronger. It is about supporting each other. And that's what this organization is all about. So I encourage you to pass on the website. I encourage you to go to the Facebook page, like the Facebook page for LCAC, and be part of this organization, helping your family, your neighbors, your friends. Let's be able to support each other by introducing others to this great organization. With that, I will turn it back over to
I'll tell you what, Supervisor Gardner,
Okay.
that was absolutely worth the wait. Thank you so much. At this point in time, I want to thank my co-hosts again, Fern Ward and Shayla Cole. I also want to thank Richard Pino for doing an incredible job of keeping us up and running at that time. So you can go ahead and crowd in here with us.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and wave everyone a goodbye. Thanks, folks.